Battle control initialized.
What's up, guys? It's Black and back some more Combined Arms content, carrying on with some lower bracket games. In this top spot we have Whocares playing as Collector 73. He is going to be in yellow. I don't think Whocares has a primary color for him. I've seen him play in multiple different colors, but his opponent is going to be Kato playing as Black Hand in his, I think, traditional blue color. I feel like I've also seen him in yellow before. This is going to be a very interesting series. Whocares losing to HyperVex, which was a little bit of a shocker, although Hyper is a good player. I think Whocares is also just a really strong player. I think, if I remember correctly, Whocares was kind of playing with Insomnia too, which is never smart. You know, it doesn't seem like it'd make that much of a difference, but it definitely does playing tired. And Kato getting unfortunately bounced by me. Just a very lucky demo truck kind of sealed the deal for him, but we are going to be on Nomad. We've seen this map a lot. Very good War Factor first map. Two Otherics kind of in the middle. Whocares trying to push in here, but his rifle going to go down. I think his engineer should be going to get in there safely. It's going to be very close, actually. Oh, I think if Kato was just moving this way a little bit more, he could have got there. Unfortunately, does not happen. And Whocares secures that Otheric. He's got some warrior backup too, so these three rifles not going to be able to burst it down. Totally fine. Oh, Kato with a little bit of a mismicro here, sending two engineers to the same spot, but it should be okay. Looks like both these players doing double ref, pretty much even timing. And these three rifles gonna get out of there. Oh, they tried. Attack move order. And both players trading 300 apiece, not too terrible at all. Let's see what the follow up here is. Oh, Whocares a little bit slow on placing this War Factory. He's busy microing, it seems like. There it is. So yeah, he's a good 15 seconds behind. It's actually quite big. You know, that's a lot of buggies and bikes he's gonna have to deal with. Still pushing in here. Kato should be totally fine. In fact, he's gonna have a great surround. Yeah, those warriors not even getting a single shot off. That is unfortunate for Whocares. Oh, he's trying to be sneaky, steal away that Otheric. I mean, I get it. This one's the closest one, but this is such a hard one to steal away. Unless your opponent's going War Factory first. This one a lot easier, but of course it's going to take a lot longer, and it's easier for your opponent just to steal it way back. Just have to see what Kato wants to do. He's just going to go in for a light tank first. Okay, so no early bikes. I know Kato is a premier nod player, has a lot of talent with nods, so I'm expecting bikes for sure at some point, for some harass, maybe some stealth tanks. He is Black Hand, so maybe some Black Hand troopers. What else does Black Hand get? I always forget. Heavy Flame Take, which is, I like them, but I don't think they're good. Inferno Bomb, which is great. Heavy Flame Tank Drop, which is, you know, not bad. Black Napalm, really good for your SSMs, and that SSM discount, super good. Free Howitzer upgrade, I didn't even know that it was free, to be honest, but I don't like Howitzers at all, so I'll stick away from them. Whocares on the sun, he's Collector, so he's got Leecher and Greater Coalescence, which is nice. What else is, they have, oh, Atomizer. Atomizer's not so good in 1.4. I think they got buffed in 1.5 recently, which is pretty good. Field Manipulator discount, not super affected, or not super important. Suppression field causing damage is also not that big of a deal. Kato gonna come in here, clean up Soul Derek. Whocares has fully retreated, so it's definitely gonna go down. Oh, he did grab the hospital, so that is very nice. Screen definitely wants their medics. And he is moving out to the right side, which is quite interesting, and Kato moved out to his left side, which is also quite interesting. I feel like this is the very common move out here. One, because it's double tree, but also you can just kind of plant your MCV here, and you get this ore field, or this tip field, and you can kind of long distance mine this one, which this tip field is really not that important. It looks like it's two trees, but it's really one, so definitely an interesting move out for both these players here. So Whocares has a lot of warriors and one intruder. I mean, intruders are super good. You can kind of just spam them. Sticking with interlopers as well, so he's not doing the typical gunwalker, interloper, ravager combination that I like. I think I used it against Kato, but again, he is not, so, you know, less effective against them, although he's not marked, so marked really good with other acolytes. They tear apart light armor, which is pretty much all sprint stuff, so maybe Whocares thinking about that, thinking the nod is pretty good there, and making an adjustment, which is always smart. What else we got going on in this game? See that tier 2 is coming out for Kato. He's a little bit slower on that. And Whocares is just finally going to get that expansion ref. advanced power plant coming out as well too, so they should be good on power for a while. Both these players just kind of passive. Harvester transfer coming over, harvester transfer coming over. Buggy cleaning up some scouts. These gunwalkers working in. I feel like this is actually a really good map for bikes too, but again, bikes against plasma cannons don't go super well. And that buggy just deleted by basically 2 intruders and an interloper taking a little piece of it. Leecher coming out too. Leechers are a fun unit to use. They can be definitely hard. You can't really spam them, and you have to have good control of them. So a lot of people don't use them as effectively as they could, and I feel like that's true of a lot of units. Micro does make a huge difference in OpenRA. It doesn't seem like it does, but it's really important. Kato building. Oh, both these players building air, which is, quite interesting. Scrin, they're going to have their gunwalkers, which who cares? It's actually quite light on them, so maybe he can get away with air. I know Kato likes his Apaches as well, so this does make sense. Apaches would be really good here if you can get away from these gunwalkers. These intruders definitely would go down to Apaches, and these leechers also very vulnerable to that. Looks like both these players kind of deathballing as well too. Oh, who cares? Realizing that he does have the hospital there, incidentally. But yeah, Kato is going to be on this right side. Who cares is going to be on this left side. It might come down to who attacks first. I heard an Apache kill something. It was over here. I would love to be a little bit more proactive with these scouts, get a good peek at his base, which doesn't look like he's done in a while since there is 2 plasma cannons there. I don't think Whocares has had a good peek here, but he just now sees it with his Storm Rider, so pretty much exactly what I'm talking right about there. Oh, Storm Rider gonna get lured in, but looks like it can tank 1 Apache. Probably not 2. Oh no, it's actually out of money that for ammo. I think he killed the one that had less ammo, but yeah, Whocares gonna get deep into Kato's base right here, and Kato is making the fatal mistake of trying to defend. And that MCV instantly going down. So great scouting by Whocares here is gonna be a huge difference because, oh man, poor Kato. Just kind of got caught unaware right there. Helipad going down. Tier 3 gonna go down. Lost his MC already too. It is looking pretty brutal for Whocares. Oh, and he's gonna lose tier 2 as well. If Whocares, yep, he's gonna kill it. And honestly, Whocares could just turn back into this. There's really not that much of a scary thing here. The army is still lagging super far behind. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually turns back into that ref. But Whocares just content to just kill all of the infrastructure and get out of dodge, as Kato is not going to be able to defend there. And now he's going to rotate his entire army back. So this army could have been doing something. Instead, it's ran from here to here. And guess what's now here? Not much at all. Until all these intruders get up here, but yeah, this is that was definitely a big mistake here by Kato. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna burn him. Storm Riders killing the Apaches too, which is super annoying. Getting a rocket for its shovel, and hello, yep, this army that you forgot about, it's gonna go right back down there. Only a ref now there. Power plant actually might be nice too. Nope, those gunwalkers gonna retreat back. I mean, there's a lot of intruders there, but not a whole lot of armor. I'm not sure who's going to win on this side, but I know on this side, Whocares is going to sweep through there. Oh man, those intruders actually might just burn through all these light tanks, but unfortunately, the gunwalkers go down before they can really do anything. It's actually going to lose a lot of those intruders, but 2 harvesters going down. I think this one's going to get away for now. And these leechers being super annoying, just healing up every time they kill infantry. A few of those intruders got away. This SAM site being nice, providing vision. There's also no anti-air here, but no helipad for the Apache. Oh yeah, now more harvesters just gonna go down with that slow, being brutal. No man, those leechers just absolutely being so brutal right now. Finally on a target that they're not healing from, but it does not matter. Whocares is broken through the main base. And I think this game is over. Kato does have this armor right here, but it's gonna not have fun attacking that. And he goes ahead and gets the GG, so Whocares being formidable, looking super strong in game 1. Kato just making a fatal mistake here of just trying to save his left side base. had a counterattack that just puts a lot of pressure on Whocares and gives him time to mount the defense here. I mean, I get it, you want to try to get over there, but that's such a long distance. Sometimes you have to make the gutsy call to sacrifice something. And unfortunately, he had all of his assets there. MCV, tier 3, tier 2, some power plants that made a big difference, and his helipad. So just not going his way, but we have at least one more match, and we'll get into it right now.
Battle control initialized.
Alright, we are back here for game 2. Kato needs a victory to stay alive, or he will be out of this tournament. Looks like we have Collector, and this time he is marked, so I'm assuming we are going to get some acolytes, assuming this game goes on that long. There's always a chance that there is some early rush that ends it, although both these players don't really have a whole lot of rushing like stuff. Nod does have flamethrowers, but they're not like Soviet flamethrowers at all. But they do come at tier 1 for free, and they are really good at just quickly running down stuff. Not as good as like a dog, obviously, because that vision for dog is huge, but you know, on a map like this, sending a flamethrower or two just to try to get that early engineer could be great. We'll have to see what these players are gonna do. Looks like both these players just mirroring each other for now, although you see that Kato has a single rifle coming out, and I do like that he is trying to find that angle on an engineer. And judging by this, he is probably going to miss it, but that is such a great path to take. I think if he went this way and down, he might actually get there. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Whocares, on the other hand, has no little sneaky shenanigans going on this side. That engineer for Kato is a lot later. Yeah, he's just barely going to miss this engineer. That's unfortunate. If he had come through the front, I think he would have actually caught it, but you know, I can only see that as I'm casting this right now. You have no idea. Maybe Whocares builds 6 rifles, and suddenly that rifle is in perfect position for Kato. So sometimes just RNG, and the RNG was not there with you. So Whocares going to get this oil derrick for free, although it's actually super close. Oh, 2 more shots and it would have gone down. That is crazy. It's kind of funny how small something like that can make a difference in this game. Whocares going for a second engineer now. Gonna clean the middle from Kato. Kato's content with sticking on 1. I think that's the right play. Both these players gone for double ref. I'll have to see if they're gonna stick around and build the 3rd ref or just instantly move out. Totally valid option on this one. Although the only thing you have to really be worried about is controlling the middle of this map a little bit. It's just such a short spawn distance. You don't want to let somebody catch you by surprise. Kind of what happened to Kato when I played him. But Whocares is going to get this oil derrick in the middle. That's going to be a nice economic move for him. And Kato is once again a little bit quicker on the War Factory. Whocares not as slow this time. I think it was 15% or 15 seconds last time, but I guess it didn't matter. Whocares waltzed all over Kato with just a really good timing attack. And I think a lot of it had to do with that scouting of the Storm Rider. Kind of let Whocares know where exactly Kato was weak, and he found that weakness and exploded it perfectly. Kato going with a light tank first. Whocares going with the harvester, so not expecting too much aggression out of him for the next couple of minutes. Probably just going to get up to 4, maybe 5 harvesters. And he's going to tier 2, so yeah. He's probably going to get at least 1 harvester. Might start pumping out some leechers or something like that early if he wants to. Kato, on the other hand, he's pushing out again. Probably going to go try to just burn off this oil derrick. Not a bad idea at all. He's got a few rockets too, which, I mean, you know, if you're up against Scrin, you can probably go light on the rockets in the early game at the very minimum. Very unlikely that somebody's going to do like a interloper gunwalker combination. Interloper's just a little bit too slow to kind of support those gunwalkers. Kato also has a tank out here, which I like as well, just in case Whocares is defending his oil derrick. Is this an engineer? It is an engineer, but unfortunately, Whocares does not see this, and Kato has the perfectly placed rifle right there, so that engineer not going to work. So Whocares just going to lose an oil derrick and $400 for the engineer. But this is a perfect scout there, perfect rifle scout. And that engineer goes down just before the oil derrick goes down. Now I do see some gunwalkers coming out, and there is those intruders from Whocares, and he's gone into air too, so Kato, on the other hand, looks like he's moved out his MCV. Gonna get that ref down. And regeneration bay, so that is the repair pad for Scrin. Makes sense. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna go air, you want that SD or repair facility or regeneration bay, whatever you want to call it. just makes it that much more effective. And something that I don't think I've ever seen on this, Whocares has found the hospital on this map and captured it. I don't know how many games I played on this map, but I don't think I ever saw the hospital until long after I'd played my last one on it. Gunwalker kills a scout there. Whocares finally moving out. Both these players depend in the same mirror direction, which makes sense here. Buggy scout for Kato too, which I like that. You know, scouting is something that I don't feel like players utilize too much in Combined Arms just yet, but I also feel like they don't use them too much in Red Alert, and they definitely should. Scouting is a huge thing. You absolutely have to be doing it. You can't just rely on intuition and game momentum to do stuff, which admittedly I do a lot too. I probably shouldn't. Active scouting is huge. It makes all the difference. It made a huge difference last game, and I think it's going to make a huge difference here. Whocares? Yep, he's seeing the army move out, or at least a piece of it, and now he's scouting in, sees that Kato is at tier 2. Now he's going to go back and check on this army. If there's no rockets here, he might just be able to snipe all of them out. Looks like he's content just to get a good scout there. And I think Buggy Scout did see all of that for Kato, so he's going to go ahead and retreat. Although those army values are pretty close, but this is a tier 2 army versus a tier 1 army. Tier 2 usually wins unless you have that much more mass, and Kato definitely does not. Whocares? Just, again, using this Storm Rider for excellent scouting. Keep an eye on that army, and he's going to be able to set up good concave here if he really wants to, and Kato will be in a world of hurt. Artillery will be nice, but there is just so many intruders and some medics in there which are just super annoying to deal with. Oh, and an artillery getting picked off too. Unfortunate. And now the tanks are out of position, and Whocares is lovely. Gonna take in that, just poke at him and then retreat. Oh, we do have some venoms here. Where are the alkalites? He needs the alkalites. I mean, this is a perfect use for him. But unfortunately, I think Whocares is just gonna waltz all over this army. And the last tank for Kato gonna go down in just a second here. But a lot of Whocares' anti-infantry has gone down, but he still has all this in the front and just evaporates that Kato army. That is insane. Once again, 1,600 to 7,000 loss, over 2-1. And now Whocares can just march right into this base. I expect this hand and nod, yeah, just instantly burst down. Venom is going to be nice, going to clean off a few of those at very minimum, but there is a gunwalk there. It just kind of forces that away. And yeah, Kato unfortunately just wasn't up to the task this time. Whocares just looking absolutely beast mode. Airship's going to go down. There's even a secondary attack here, killing an artillery with the corruptors and more intruders coming in. I expect that Kato is playing this out a little bit, but I think he realizes that it is indeed time to GG. So Whocares looking... That was scary. Good. Just great scouting by him, and I think that's make a testament for the first game as well. Good Storm Rider scouting, saw where that weakness was in that army, and was able to clean up Kato relatively easily there. And all that just comes down to that good scouting. So that means Whocares is going to move on to round 2 of the lower bracket, and Kato will be watching from the sidelines. But until then, I'll see y'all next time.